Just recently somebody asked me, yesterday, where are you going? And I was in a fix. I was like, yesterday, where are you going? It did not make sense to me, and I actually could not understand what to answer to him. What he meant was, yesterday, where had you on? Or you may say, where did you go yesterday? I understood his meaning later and I could answer him. But this showcases the importance of understanding tenses to understand time and express sequence of events. Okay, so there are 12 tenses that we're going to be discussing. Now the best part about this video is that I have a worksheet for you. And I've asked your question. You're going to submit your answers on the link that I've provided to you and you will instantly receive your result right after submission. Okay, so make sure you submit your worksheet because that's going to test you if you've understood the video or not. And mind it, you'll be able to fill that worksheet only when you properly watch this video. Okay, so you have to make sure that you go through the entirety of the video and understand what I'm trying to teach you and then use that knowledge properly in practice with the help of the worksheet that we have for you. Don't straight jump to the worksheet. Don't do that. Okay. This is for your own benefit. Apart from that, there's also a PDF in the end of the video. You can use it. It's there in the description of the video. You can use that PDF to understand all the details of the tenses and has a proper description of everything that you would want to know right after watching the video. So as I said, there are 12 tenses in this video, okay, and each of these 12 are going to be explained with the help of one simple example. We are going to be dividing these 12 into 3 parts: present, past, future. 4 each. 4 plus 4 plus 4, 12. Okay, and these 4 tenses, present tense, for each are simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. Okay, so let's start with the first one on the list, which is simple present tense. We are going to be starting with present tense. Simple present tense. I learn English. This is simple present tense, or he learns English. Okay, so when you're talking in third person, he or she, you just have to add an S. I learn English, he learns English, she learns English. So you add an S or Es. In some cases it will be ES. This tense helps you to describe general truths or habits. Okay, I learn English. So this is a general truth about me. Now coming to the next one, present continuous. Remember, whenever there is continuous tense you will always have ing. I am learning English, he is working at the restaurant. Okay, learning, working. This is used to explain things that are happening at the very present moment. Okay, this very moment in time I am learning English, that means I'm actually sitting down with my book and learning English. He is working at the restaurant, so he is right now inside that restaurant working. Okay, now let's come to the next one, which is present perfect tense. Present perfect is used for actions that are completed at an indefinite time before now. Okay, they were completed before now. Or it is used for experiences where time is not relevant, time is not important. I have learned English. So you use have or has. Okay, imperfect tense, the present perfect, and we'll move on to the next ones in just some time. Okay, so I have learned English. Time is not important. I have learned it, and now I know English. Okay, I understand English. One last example to close this tense of present perfect would be he has worked. This is present perfect tense, as is being used here. Okay, now moving on to the last one in this category, which is present perfect continuous. Now this is perfect. So how for? As will be used, and since this is continuous, ing will be used. You get the idea, right? So I'll give you an example. So there's one more thing that you need to remember here. When you're using perfect continuous tense, perfect continuous for any, it has to be have been or has been. Okay, have been, has been. Now let me give you an example. I have been learning English. Now see and continuous coming together. So it becomes, have been learning English. I have been learning English. One more example I could give you. Here. He has been working at the restaurant since the morning. Again working, okay. Has perfect. Perfect tense, that's why has. Let's move on to the next category of simple. Past tense, simple past tense would be I learned English, past learn, present was I learned English, past I learned English, okay, because it is signifying an action that was completed in the past. He worked at the restaurant. He worked at the restaurant, completed in the past. Over. Now let's move on to the next one. Past continuous. Remember continuous. Ing will be used. I was learning English. He was working at the restaurant when I saw him. Next one, which is perfect. Past perfect tense. As I told you, this is to describe some action that was completed in the past before some other action. Okay. I had learned English. So when you were in present tense, the words were have or has. Now since you are in past tense, now have or has will become had. Okay, I had learned English. He had worked at the restaurant for 2 years before he quit. He had worked at the restaurant. Getting my point. Okay, let's move on to the last category on the list, which is past perfect. Continuous, now perfect and continuous are coming together, okay, and you remember the simple rule. For perfect you will have had, okay, and for continuous you will have ing. Let's understand this with the help of an simple perfect continuous tense. Simple perfect continuous tense was I have been learning English. Now you are in past tense. I had been learning English. Okay, he had been working at the restaurant for 3 months before he got promoted. Let's move on to the next category, the last one on the list, and that is simple future tense. Simple future tense will be stating some general truth or some action. I will learn English. I will learn English. Okay, I'm just stating a fact over here. I will example, he will work at the restaurant on Sunday. Okay, he will work at the restaurant on Sunday. That means you're stating a fact that he will work there. Now this is future tense, so he will work will come in here. Okay, he will work at the restaurant on Sunday. Now coming to future continuous tense. Future continuous will be again, ing will be used. I will be learning English. Learning, I will be learning English. Or he will be learned by that time in future. I will have learned English. Okay. Coming to the next example. He will have worked at the, okay. Moving to the last one, which is future perfect. Continuous tense. Name is difficult, I agree. It's difficult for me also. Future perfect. Continuous tense. Now this is future, something that has not happened yet. Okay, and this is perfect. So since this is perfect, and it is also continuous, so continuousing will be there. And this is perfect. So have been, okay, something like a have been is also going to be there. Let me give you an example. I will have been learning English. I will have been learning English. He will have been working at the restaurant for 6 months by the time he goes on his vacation or he takes his vacation. Okay, he will have been working at the restaurant. Working, ing, continuous. Okay, he will have been working at the restaurant for 6 conclusion months by the time he takes his vacation. Okay, so that was all in the list. I hope you enjoyed this one. Now it's important to learn tenses. You cannot run away from them. But I agree that these are not the things that you actively think about while speaking. Now, if I'm talking with you on the camera right now, am I actively thinking about arranging these tenses in my head? It's impossible. It cannot be done that way. Okay, nobody can work that way. No, nobody's mind is aligned or equipped to work this way. We do not think about these tenses, but they are important so that you actually understand what the other person is trying to tell you, which state he is in. He is talking about present, he is talking about future, he he is talking about past. Okay. And then when you rehearse a little, what happens is that these things go in the background. They diminish in the background. Okay. Overall, what happens is that you overall gain a certain command over the language and you start getting to understand people better. Since you're aware, you have knowledge of tense is okay. So do not worry, these things are simple. When I was a kid and I was learning and understanding how these things work, it actually felt a little complicated back then. And I had my own ways of remembering and how to write my answers in my papers, in my exam sheets. But you know, it's not that difficult. Just try, focus a little and find out a pattern. You will find out a pattern. I've already helped you a lot. Okay. Now just listen to me carefully. You may just re-go through this video all over again, revisit the video as many times as you want, save this video someplace with you. I hope it helps you. I really do. Okay. Now, next you have to fill in your worksheet. Okay. Use this link, submit your answers on the worksheet and get your results. See if you did well. Share in the comment what your result was. Okay, I really hope you do well. Okay, another thing is you could download this PDF. Link is in description also. Download this PDF, read through it, understand what I'm trying to tell you through the PDF, so that you get a little, it just gets easier for you by using that PDF. You can save it with you. Okay, the intention is to help you. That's all. Another thing that you could be doing is practice constructing 12 sentences. Okay, just take a simple sentence and practice constructing 12 sentences basis that sentence using this video.